Hello and welcome to Sample Build. What you're going to see is an entire class being built from scratch. As you watch, you'll see the class be named, a playlist chosen, and cues established for each song in the playlist. At the very foundation of Class Builder is a method to generate a class quickly from a playlist. Class Builder is a very feature-rich application. You'll get that impression from the number of tutorials we have on the bottom right-hand side of our web page. And in fact, our help system is rather extensive as well. It should help embellish your knowledge of cycling or indoor cycling instruction if you take the time to go through it. However, like any good piece of software, the user gets to decide just how deep they want to go. So as you watch this demonstration continue, notice the Class Builder can be approached in a very simple fashion. If you're new to the iPod or the iPhone, navigation between screens might seem a little odd at first. In general, the navigation is going to be at the top of the page, but in some cases you'll find it at the bottom. In this case, I want you to take particular notice of the fact that once I return to the segment screen, I can use the left and right arrows at the bottom of the page to go to the next segment. Once I'm at the next segment, of course, I can add a cue. So I'm simply adding a cue to each of the existing segments or songs that are already in my playlist. The other thing to take note of is each time I tap the screen in this tutorial, a white dot will appear where I touched the iPod. If you happen to miss it, in 99% of the cases, you can rewind and watch it again and you'll probably pick it up. You'll note that I haven't taken the time to establish a class focus, a class category, and I've not even named the individual segments. But that's because I'm only interested in a quick reminder of how I'm going to approach each song. The cues in Class Builder are simply your reminders to yourself as to how you'd want to cue your class, what you'd want to be reminding them of. And you can have as few or as many cues within a given segment that you want. So in this case, we've got a very simple class. Each segment is just one song, and we're giving each of those songs just one cue. You'll notice that we're not setting targets either, such as cadence, or heart zone, RPE, that is rate of perceived exertion, or power. That doesn't mean that as an instructor you can't talk about these things. Of course, you'll fill in the time between one song and the next with your own comments, observations, and advice for the students. But nevertheless, by having at least one cue in a general sense for how you're going to approach each segment or each song, it helps to provide a nice framework or structure for your class before you get started. The ability to be as detailed or as general as you like is the beauty and power of Class Builder. I can start out building a class with a general framework, a general approach, perhaps one cue per song or segment. And each time I conduct that class, I can add a little more detail to enrich it and make it that much more complete. One additional note, since I am not designating any heart zone or intensity level in each of the segments, Class Builder does not have the ability to build a profile. What I'm going to show you next is how easy it is to add a profile to a class that's already been built, like this one. Well, it looks like we're finished up here, and the total time required was only 4 minutes and 17 seconds.